Daddy knows cars. The little girl whispered confidently to the frantic billionaire, staring helplessly at the smoking engine of his $500,000 Lamborghini. What happened next turned a dusty roadside breakdown into the most heartwarming twist you'll hear all year. A story of innocence, unexpected friendship, and a life-changing act of gratitude that no one saw coming. Buckle up, because this one will restore your faith in humanity. The sun blazed over the winding coastal highway outside Malibu on a Saturday afternoon in July. Alexander Voss, 42, tech billionaire and founder of Voss AI, was cruising in his matte black Lamborghini Aventador when disaster struck. A loud bang, a cloud of smoke, and the supercar rolled to a lifeless stop on the shoulder. His phone had one bar. No tow service could reach him for hours. Dressed in a tailored linen shirt and designer sunglasses, Alexander paced beside the car, sweat beading on his forehead. He had an investor dinner in 2 hours. This was a nightmare. A dusty old pickup truck rumbled by, then slowed and pulled over 50 yards ahead. Out hopped a man in his late 30s, grease-stained jeans, faded work shirt, baseball cap, followed by a little girl no older than 7, with messy brown pigtails and a bright yellow sundress. She clutched a stuffed bunny and skipped toward the Lamborghini like it was a playground attraction. Alexander forced a polite smile as the man approached. "Hey, sorry to bother you. Car trouble." "You could say that," Alexander muttered, gesturing at the smoking hood. "Engine just died." The man, Jake Harlan, nodded knowingly. "Mind if I take a look?" Alexander shrugged. "Knock yourself out. Lamborghini technicians usually handle these, but I'm desperate." As Jake popped the hood and peered inside, his daughter Lily stood on tiptoes beside the billionaire. She stared up at him with wide hazel eyes. "That's a really pretty car," she said softly. Alexander chuckled despite his frustration. "Thanks, kiddo. It was pretty fast, too, until 5 minutes ago." Lily tilted her head. "Daddy knows cars," she whispered, as if sharing a sacred secret. "He can fix anything." Alexander glanced at the grease-covered mechanic, doubting this beat-up pickup driver could revive Italian engineering. But Jake was already tracing hoses, checking connections, his hands moving with quiet confidence. Alternator belt snapped, Jake called out, and the tensioner looked shot. "You're lucky it didn't seize the engine." Alexander groaned. "Great. Parts like that aren't exactly lying around." Jake wiped his hands on a rag. "Got a spare belt in my truck? Wrong brand, but I can make it work temporarily. Enough to get you to a shop." Alexander blinked. "You carry Lamborghini parts in that truck?" Jake laughed. "Nah, but I carry universal heavy-duty belts. Been fixing things since I was younger than her." He nodded toward Lily, who beamed proudly. While Jake worked under the hood, Lily stayed by Alexander's side, chattering away. She told him about her bunny, named Mr. Flops, how her mom was working a double shift at the diner, how Daddy fixed everyone's cars in their small town 30 miles inland. Alexander, usually guarded with strangers, found himself relaxing. The little girl's innocence was disarming. 30 minutes later, Jake lowered the hood. "Try it." Alexander turned the key. The V12 roared back to life, smooth as ever. He stepped out, stunned. "You're a miracle worker." Jake shrugged modestly. "Just a mechanic." Alexander reached for his wallet. "Name your price." "Seriously, whatever you want." Jake waved him off. "Not necessary. Happy to help." But Lily tugged her dad's sleeve and whispered something. Jake smiled and nodded. "Actually," Jake said, "Lily has a request." Alexander crouched to her level. "What is it, sweetheart?" She shyly held out Mr. Flops. "Can you take a picture with my bunny? So I can tell my friend a rich man held him." Alexander laughed warmly and posed for several photos. Him holding the stuffed bunny, Lily grinning beside the gleaming Lamborghini. He even let her sit in the driver's seat for one. Before they left, Alexander handed Jake his business card. "If you ever need anything, a job, investment, anything, call me." Jake tucked it in his pocket. "Appreciate it. Drive safe." They parted ways. Alexander made his dinner, charmed the investors, and forgot about the breakdown until 3 months later. Life for Jake and Lily wasn't easy. Jake ran a small auto shop in Oak Ridge, a working-class town where bills piled faster than paychecks. His wife, Sarah, worked nights at the diner to cover Lily's medical treatments. She'd been diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disorder requiring expensive medication. They were one bad month from losing their home. One October morning, a sleek black town car pulled up outside Jake's shop. Out stepped Alexander Voss, this time in a sharp suit, flanked by 2 assistants. Jake wiped his hands, confused. "Mr. Voss?" Alexander smiled. "You saved my bacon and my dignity. That day on the highway, I've been thinking about how to return the favor. He handed Jake an envelope. Inside, a check for $500,000 and a letter offering full partnership in a new luxury auto restoration chain Alexander wanted to launch, with Jake as head mechanic and co-owner. Jake's jaw dropped. This is too much. It's not charity, Alexander insisted. I did my research. You're the best mechanic on the coast. Customers rave about you. And honestly, your daughter reminded me there are more important things than board meetings. But the real surprise came next. Alexander turned to Lily, who peeked from behind her dad. And for you, Miss Daddy Knows Cars. He revealed a trust fund statement. $2 million set aside for Lily's medical care and education, invested to grow. Sarah arrived just then, tears already flowing as Alexander explained everything. Why us? She whispered. Alexander looked at Lily. Because your daughter believed in her father when a billionaire didn't even believe in himself that day. She reminded me that real wealth isn't in bank accounts. It's in people who help strangers without expecting anything back. The partnership flourished. Jake's expertise, paired with Alexander's resources, created Harlan and Voss Restorations, a premium brand restoring classic and supercars for celebrities worldwide. The first location opened in Oak Ridge, bringing jobs to the town. Lily's treatment succeeded. She grew healthy, bright, and inseparable from Uncle Alex, who visited often, teaching her about engines and taking her for rides in restored classics. Years later, at the grand opening of their 5th location, Alexander gave a speech. I was stranded that day, not just my car, but in life. Chasing numbers, forgetting people. Then a little girl in a yellow dress looked at a broken-down rich man and said, Daddy knows cars. And because she believed in her father, I started believing in goodness again. He raised a glass to Jake, Sarah, and Lily. To family, not the one you're born into, but the one that finds you on the side of the road. The crowd cheered. Lily, now 10, stood proudly beside her parents and Uncle Alex, Mr. Flop still tucked under her arm. One random breakdown. One child's innocent faith. One mechanic's quiet skill. And 4 lives forever changed. If this story warmed your heart and reminded you that kindness always comes back around, hit that like button right now, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss these incredible real-life feel-good stories, and drop a comment below. Have you ever helped a stranger or been helped when you needed it most? Tell me your story and where in the world you're watching from today. Let's fill the comments with positivity.